until you find out that feminism wasn't actually about equality, but about getting both parents out of the home, doubling tax revenue, and letting the government raise your children instead of you. Unfortunately, the message of feminism has really been blurred. Of course, I agree with the original feminists saying that they want equality, but unfortunately that has kind of turned into sameness instead of actual true equality.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and today we've got a video for you from Man Guides, taking a look at a wave of women admitting the loneliness epidemic and second-guessing feminism. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments, and let's jump right into the video.
You ever have like such a bad day and you're just like craving dicks? You're just like, I need dicks. I haven't had dicks this whole time. Give me the fucking dicks.
Whatever drought she is describing here, the answer was probably never going to be found by yelling at her own phone.
Sometimes I really want to get cracked, and then I open Hinge. I see all the men who match with me and what they say, and I'm like,
Collecting men off of an app to feel wanted is the exact loneliness that she is trying to outrun, and don't be surprised when men don't want to date you when they realize this.
We need to bring back making out. Like, what happened to just having a good makeout session? Our generation has truly lost the art of intimacy, the art of a good kiss, the art of a good makeout. Like, that's all we need. If we just did more of that, everyone would be so much happier. And I hate when you tell people and they're like, are we in high school? I'm sorry, but people don't even know how to freaking kiss in high school, okay? And when you're kissing with the right person, oh my gosh, it just feels so great. You get the butterflies and it just makes everything.
Am I the only one who thinks that when women make videos like this, it's actually just very creepy, if I'm honest? Like, obviously, it's just to bait dudes on social media, I guess, but these women are honestly just degenerate, in my opinion.
I don't care what nobody say. Being single for years and years and years, and abstinence, celibate, whatever the fuck you want me to call it, not having sex, no intimacy, no nothing, like nobody caring about you, nobody even to talk to chat with, nobody to fucking confide in, not having no support, like none of that shit is normal. Like, that shit not for the weak. Being lonely, like literally lonely, not for the weak. And I don't see nobody talking about that shit enough.
On the surface, guys, you might have sympathy for women who make these videos, but you have to understand that they actively do it to themselves. I don't care, what modern day woman, individual, how terrible her attitude is, whatever. These women have options when it comes to dating, and if they have no man, it's honestly just their fault.
Hey guys, I actually don't think a man will ever love me for anything more than just me being a hole with some awesome knockers and awesome rear on me. I don't think they'll ever take me seriously. I don't think they'll ever actually view me as a human, but I'm trying. Every day I'm trying. Hey, get to know me. Hey, get to know me. It's not going well.
This is something else that I find very funny that women constantly complain about. They always say, oh, men only want me for my body. They always just ghost me and they never actually want anything serious, when they should be asking, what do they actually provide to men beyond their body? Usually the answer is very little. And then the second part is they oftentimes fail to realize that the men that they want don't actually want to commit to them, and maybe they should date dudes who are within their league.
Male loneliness epidemic, I have the solution. The women who still like dating men need to be dating multiple men. We need to follow in the footsteps of the polygamous Mormons, because I grew up Mormon, and the way they justified polygamy in the early days of the church was men were dying off from war. There wasn't enough men to go around to spread the seed. Well, guess what? We have that problem now, baby. Except that there's not enough women to go around. And then there's men who don't want to change and they just watch their manosphere podcast bros and don't go to therapy. That only leaves the women who still do want to date men. So those women should date more of you so you all get attention. And you should be yelling at those manosphere leaders that have the wife in the one-sided monogamous relationship where she can't date guys, but he can date other women, because he's stealing women off the market. Good-hearted, beautiful women who want to date you are getting taken by him because he's a greedy man. You should yell at him, because we're in a female attention scarcity zone, baby. The only people to blame are the men stealing all the girls and the girls who still like dating men, because they could be dating more of you.
Yeah, I'm really not sure this is going to work out the way she thinks it will. So the solution is apparently to date a whole bunch of dudes at the same time. This is exactly why nobody wants to take these women seriously, guys. Like the moment a man realizes this is what a woman is doing, he is not going to want to have anything serious with her.
Feminism sold us the biggest scam of our generation. They told us we were empowered. But what did we actually get? Burnout, debt, stress, a double life where we work like men and still carry the entire home on our backs. And here's the truth nobody's talking about. Feminism didn't set women free. It trapped us in a masculine system that we were never designed for. They told us to compete with men, to lead like men, to talk, think, act like men, and now we're exhausted, we're disconnected, resentful, and wondering why nothing feels right. We don't need more feminism. We need to reclaim the femininity that was stolen from us, because that's where a woman's real power has always been. In softness, in harmony, emotional intelligence, intuition, influence, not in becoming a copy of the men we were created to complement. If you want to break free from this conditioning and learn how to step back into your feminine design, the design that brings peace, love, protection, and real freedom,
I find it funny how these women are realizing that they got sold a complete scam by feminism. Like men haven't been telling them this the entire damn time. And usually what happens, guys, is they realize it's a scam when it doesn't benefit them anymore. That's the real kicker, right? Like they were fine to go along with it as long as they got benefits, but now they're no longer getting benefits, so now they don't like it. Absolutely classic.
I'm 30 and I'm single, and something that I quickly had to learn while dating at my 30s is that 30 or plus year old men would much rather date women that are on their early 20s than women that are 30 or plus years old. And I think the reason for that is because when you turn 30, you hit this wall where you don't take the same shit that you used to take while you were in your 20s. For example, when I was at my 20s, a guy would say, yeah, you know, like, I just need time. I cannot be in a serious relationship with you right now. And I would go for it, and I would entertain this man. If a man comes today and says, hey, I'm not ready for a serious relationship, it's like, babe, you're 30. The hairline is going back. Like, what else do you need time for? So I quickly had to realize that I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time single, and I have to be okay with it because I cannot go back to my 20s. I also don't want to. I love being 30 and the maturity and consciousness that I have now.
This is exactly what happens when you screw around until you are 30 years of age, guys. Like, women refuse to take their time seriously and actually get with a good man, and then all of a sudden they end up at 30 years of age regretting everything. It's absolutely hilarious.
So I just came from a first date, and I'm just gonna sum it up. It went well, right? But how he ended the date is just like, it's not much, but I love food. So this just really spoke to me. So as we were saying goodbye, he's like, did you enjoy your food? And I was like, yes, I did. I'm gonna be hungry in an hour though. And he's like, okay, I'll send you some food to your house so you won't have to spend your own money. Helping me save money on food already, and you putting food in my belly? That's a love language for me in its own. I'm already in love.
A man covered one meal and offered another, and she was ready to call it love, which tells you everything about what she thinks that love actually is, by the way. There's nothing wrong with him being generous, I guess, if he wants to, but building a whole love language out of who pays for the snacks is just ridiculous to me.
And here's the thing. If you become a divorced mother in your mid to late 30s, I want you to recognize that you are going to witness other women who are similar to you, who are snagging the young bucks, okay? They are robbing the cradle. They're getting the guys who were barely alive when 9/11 happened. And that's all fine and dandy. But I'm here to tell you, as one of those bitches, that it's not all that it's chalked up to be, okay? It's actually not all that great. I mean, my family is harassing me left and right, asking what I'm doing, wondering why I look so old, standing next to this little baby boy. I mean, I got humbled real quick this morning when my mom called and said that she made me an appointment to get Botox so I don't look so old next to him. This is just the reality, ladies, okay? And I don't feel like I even look that old for my age. But listen, when it looks like you could be nursing your son and your new man at the same time, this is a problem. This is a problem, and it's become a problem for me.
This is absolutely insane to me. Anyone could have told you that ditching your husband to try and go out there and smash a bunch of dudes was probably not going to result in you being more happy. But hey, I guess these women, you know, guys, they turn into like philosophers on TikTok when they figure it out. Absolutely insane.
So I made the decision to start dating again. Are people actually being asked on dates? Because I feel like there's lots of pen pals, but no, like, invites? Like, is that the way to put it? So help me out here. Are people actually going on dates or being asked out? Like, what's going on?
These women acting confused because men aren't asking them out is actually hilarious to me, guys. The reason why men are not asking her out is because they don't want to. Typically, the men that these women are matching with have a whole bunch of options, so they have no reason to ask you at all.
I want to talk about being single and wanting to be loved. I'm currently on a trip on my own in Costa Rica, and something really amazing happened to me today. I'm coming towards the end of my trip and I'm getting a little bit in my feels, and I made a video, it's a couple of videos back, talking about rejection and the fact that I started this year experiencing lots of different rejections, both personally and professionally. Some of those were, of course, in the world of dating, and it just made me think, God, is this ever going to happen for me? Now, I talk a lot about being single and being happy, and I think that no one is perpetually happy. No one is happy 100% of the time. It's just not possible. However, in general, I'm incredibly happy because I just don't want to settle. I know the kind of relationship that I want, and so I'm willing to hold out for that relationship. However, there are days where I'm just like, oh, I would really like to start that journey now. I would really like to start that journey with somebody. And today was one of those days. I woke up and I was feeling, you know, a little bit kind of like emotional and a little bit like, I don't know if this is ever going to happen. And then all of those kind of old thoughts and patterns come up for me, like, what's wrong with me? Why does no one want me? Boo-hoo. But I recognize now, and I'm very aware, self-aware, that those are just thoughts and they're not actually a reality. So I choose not to buy into them because now I have that choice. So anyway, I took myself to breakfast because I was like, I need to eat something. I took my journal. I'm like, I'm going to just journal this all out and I'm going to feel so much better. And as I was sitting down to have my breakfast with my journal,
so here we have another one of those videos where women try and bait free attention from men by saying they feel lonely. But guys, let's be honest, if these women wanted a man, they could have a man. They just absolutely suck at A, choosing the right man, and B, actually keeping him around.
my holiday friends that I made on a trip yesterday came down for breakfast and they were leaving this morning, and I was so happy to see them because I thought they'd already left. And I don't know if you believe in coincidences or serendipity or the universe or whatever, but I certainly do. And one of the women, Ro, started telling me a story about how she'd been single for 14 years and then she has now met this incredible man and she's in love. She's just turned 39. They've been together for like the last year or so. And she also told me that her mum didn't meet her now husband of 15 years until she was 43. She didn't meet the love of her life until she was 43. I'm of the belief that we definitely have more than one love of our life or one soulmate. I think there are many, many people. And I think for the different versions of us that we are, there are many different junctions that we can take. But when I heard her tell this story, it just filled my heart with so much joy. And I was just like, that's the hope and faith. That's the hope and faith. Because the person that I'm going to be with exists. They're alive, living their life somewhere. And when the time is right, I'm going to meet them. And that was the message that I needed to be reminded of. And that was the message that I got this morning. So whether you're male, female, if you're single and you do want a relationship, some people don't, and that's absolutely fine. And sometimes you find yourself kind of losing hope. I think it's really, really important to remember that timing is everything. Enjoy your life right now. And when you're meant to meet that person, you will. And yeah, I truly believe that's going to happen. And when it does, I'll be sharing it with all of you. Thanks, guys. Love ya.
And now we're talking about continuing to have hope and stuff like that because you're still single. Like, guys, these women will complain about dating and being single, even though it's the easiest thing for them to solve. It's absolutely hilarious.
How feminism messed up the U.S. economy and how it's actually now come back to bite modern women in the butt. Let's rewind. The modern feminist movement kicked off in the 1960s. The goal was fair wages, equal opportunities, and legal protection. Great, right? They told us that the first wave gave us the right to vote, and the second wave brought us into the workforce. Here's where it gets a little bit sticky. During the second wave, the message shifted. It wasn't just, you can work outside the home. It became, you should. or you must if you want to be respected. Doing nothing but staying home and cooking and cleaning and raising children, that was suddenly less than. So women flooded the workforce around this time. They were told they would get more financial freedom, more independence, and of course, more respect. But when millions of women started working full-time, it didn't just change individual families, it changed the entire economy. Suddenly, 2 incomes weren't just nice, they were expected, and that's where we get into the 2-income trap. This is a book written by Elizabeth Warren, who is not exactly a conservative voice, but she actually articulates this situation beautifully in her book, The 2-Income Trap. She argues that when both parents started working, the cost of living adjusted. Homes in good school districts, prices went up. Childcare, through the roof.
This is exactly what I've been saying on the channel, guys, and women are now just realizing that it's a complete scam, but feminism has always been a scam for women. Now they have to work, so, none of them are enjoying themselves. They still want a man to look after them, and they're realizing that they got completely screwed over.
Everything from health insurance to groceries inflated to match dual income spending power. So now we've created this world where it takes 2 full-time incomes to just be able to afford the same lifestyle one income covered in 1960. Feminism told women and even sold them the idea that they were breaking free. But for a lot of women, especially moms, it feels more like a trap. Because now the choice to stay home with your kids isn't even on the table for many families. So many women would love to be able to be homemakers and clean the house and cook and take care of their kids, and they can't. Because what used to be a respected and even honored role of homemaker, caregiver, mother got dismissed. Feminism lied to us and told us that success only looked like climbing the corporate ladder and competing with men. But we traded in something priceless: time with our children, peace in our own homes, and even financial flexibility. So while women were told you should do it all, what we ended up with is exhaustion, rising debt, and a system that only works if you're always working outside your house. The very movement that claimed to be liberating women made it nearly impossible to live on one income. And I'm sorry, but that is not empowering. Turns out that there's a real price to pay when a society stops valuing motherhood. When caregiving is treated as invisible labor and homemakers are seen as less than, everybody actually loses, especially women. Not just emotionally or in the family structure, we could talk about that forever, but economically as well. So no, I'm sorry, feminism didn't save women. It told us we need to do it all, and now our generation is paying the price for it.
Doubling the workforce and watching wages stall is basic supply and demand, and men have been making this exact argument for years. The freedom to work turned into the obligation to work, and the family that used to run on one income now needs 2 just to break even. This is also incredibly true as well, guys. Women no longer rely on men. Now they just rely on the state, which is effectively just men paying taxes, by the way. So, congratulations to the strong and empowered women out there, guys, who don't need no man.
Wild is when feminism told women that they don't need men, it wasn't to make women more free. It was to make them dependent on the state instead of their husband. Think about it for a second. Before the 1960s, family was the safety net. If something went wrong, you had a husband, a father, a brother, a community, a church, a safety net. The people took care of each other. They cared about each other. Then came no-fault divorce in 1969. Suddenly, marriage wasn't a covenant. It was a contract that you could walk away from. Okay, and get this. And when the families started falling apart, who stepped in? The government. Welfare replaced the husband, the system replaced the father, and schools, they replaced the home. Women were told that this is freedom, that being alone, raising kids by yourself, and relying on checks from the government made you strong. But what it really did was break the structure that once protected us. It separated women from men from their families, and children from both. The state became the new husband that offers no love, no legacy, no protection, just control, dependency, and paperwork. And now, generations later, you have women exhausted, men disengaged, and children who grow up not knowing what family feels like. That wasn't progress, that was replacement.
It's interesting to me how I see these videos continue to pop up now of women denouncing feminism, but let's be honest, guys, these women absolutely loved feminism until it no longer benefited them, and then once they've realized that they have to actually work for the remainder of their lives, they are not too happy about it.
Debunk 4 lies the modern feminist movement has told women. Number 1, women don't need men. It started in the 60s with the phrase, a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. which biologically, women are wired to depend on men, and men are wired to actually depend on women too. So God didn't get it wrong when he created two sexes, male and female. Men are here to provide and protect, and women thrive under that strength. With number two, men and women are the same. When women started having casual sex to compete with men who were using them, they were told that they could handle it, but they couldn't. Why? Because women are not built to separate sex from emotion. That doesn't go to say that men should be sleeping around, because that's not God's design either. But women are flaunting their body count as if it's something to be proud of, when actually there's pain there that nobody wants to commit to. Men and women were designed to complement each other, not compete against each other. Number three,
See, I'm going to have to pause this woman here, but feminism was never actually about equality. It was about superiority. So this is the funny part about these videos, guys, right? Is like the women don't want to actually give up feminism or the things that they thought benefited them, but now they want to denounce it because they realize they actually have to work and maybe they want to have kids and it completely screwed them over. So just something to think about here, guys. They actually still want to stand by feminism. It just doesn't benefit them anymore.
the biological clock isn't real. It is. Women are designed to procreate for a set amount of time. And when that time is up, it gets harder to nearly impossible. But culture wants to tell women to delay marriage and prioritize a career. So when she's finally ready, it's often too late, which leads me to my final point, which is a career is more meaningful than marriage and children, which is the biggest lie of all, because work doesn't love you back. Work doesn't build a personal legacy that will outlive you. It won't sit at your bedside when you're sick or hold your hand on your deathbed. It won't tell stories of how you impacted their life. There's no promotion that's going to fill the emptiness of going to bed alone or walking into an empty house. So flip your priorities, and maybe you're going to find what you're searching for all along is God's design, which is marriage and motherhood.
As far as I'm concerned, guys, these women are strong and independent. They don't need no man. They are super empowered, and they can go out there and chase their careers and do whatever it is that they would like to do. This woman obviously has a point here, guys, but I don't think men are willing to take a lot of these women back.
Wait until you find out that feminism wasn't actually about equality, but about getting both parents out of the home, doubling tax revenue, and letting the government raise your children instead of you. Unfortunately, the message of feminism has really been blurred. Of course, I agree with the original feminists saying that they want equality, but unfortunately that has kind of turned into sameness instead of actual true equality. It is almost virtually impossible for a woman to choose to stay home or for a family to survive off of one income. And it's all because instead of promoting this idea of equality that women should be treated as equals, we have promoted this idea that women should be treated the same as men, and that is not the same thing. Now, because our society and culture has accepted this idea of sameness, that men and women are the same instead of equals, our government, our culture, our society treats women like men, and we wonder why we are treated like absolute crap. There's no maternity leave, there's no benefits, people treat pregnant women horribly, people treat women in general horribly, people treat children horribly, and it's all because of these ideals. Modern feminism has really just turned into this beast that has bit women in the butt, and we are suffering because
the economics that she is describing are real, and men have been connecting these same dots for a long time now. Two incomes became the baseline, prices rose to meet them, and the independence that these women were sold turned into a treadmill that nobody could get off.
We are creating a society that women are not happy in. Right? We've suddenly allowed radical feminists to convince us that we should want to be just like men, that we should want to climb the corporate ladder, that we should not aspire to having kids. We routinely cover that sort of a conversation that's happening across various podcasts where they're making it seem like the aspiration to want to stay at home is something that should be frowned upon. So I'll ask the question, what is the value of a woman today? What is sacred about having a woman? If you're a man and you're looking and you're saying, I want to marry somebody, what are the attributes that you should be looking for? Are we offering that anymore? We now exist in hooker culture, right? The sex is free. It's promiscuous. We want to put our bodies on the internet. We say that somehow renders us more free, which in my personal opinion, actually, I think it's bondage. When the only way that you can get attention and the only way that you can get people to look at you is by taking off your clothes.
Asking what is actually valued in a woman beyond out-earning a man is a fair question, not an attack. A whole culture told women to want one thing and then acted surprised when it did not make them happy. If you would like to get early access to videos, weekly lectures, and case study breakdowns of human behavior, make sure you check out the members area link below in the video description. Otherwise, make sure to click on one of these videos on screen now if you enjoyed. Make sure you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.